هلا ومرحبا فيكم في حلقة جديدة من الرحلة رقم. معكم رحم محرق من آيسلندا. اسم آيسلندا كان إحدى الأسباب اللي خلاني أجي أزورها، لأني اكتشفت إنه آيسلندا فيها خضار وغرينلندا فيها ثلج. وغير اسمها المميز وجمالها الخلاب، حبيت أعرفكم وأتعرف على شخصية ملهمة غيرت مسار كثير من النساء بطريقة إيجابية. فتعالوا معايا عيشوا المغامرة وشوفوا جمال آيسلندا الخلاب. آيسلندا مليئة بالمفاجآت، فاسألوا الجايد فين في أماكن تقدروا تشوفوها. مثلاً هذا المحل لقيناه في الطريق. Hi, Kresteen.
Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having me. حبيت أعرفكم على قصة كريستين، لأنها من جد خلتني أستوعب قد إيش كل أحد فينا قادر على مساعدة الآخرين. Kresteen, thank you so much for being with us. I know so many things about you, but I want my viewers to know who you are, so we can start from the beginning. Who are you and what do you do?
Okay. I am a spokeswoman and the director of an organization that's called Roteint in Icelandic, The Root, which is a women's organization working with homeless women and women with substance use issues.
What's a misconception do you think people have of what you do or the situation of women? What's something you would like to change in terms of mentality?
Well, it's first of all, it's the need to look at these problems with a gendered view, because women and men have different trajectories with substance use problems. It's and both socially and also physically. And one of the things is that women's histories of gender-based violence is affecting how their histories of substance use and homelessness and things like that. And that's our main purpose, I would say.
So there's a clear difference between how male and female handle this situation. You can see that. You can see it.
I mean, that's research. We know it, but it's not mainstream methodology, you could say.
I mean, both of them are difficult. Both for male and female are difficult. They're a very difficult thing to go through. But what are the challenges that women go through that are different to men?
What we've been trying to change is that, for example, the treatment system and the services women get, that they take into account that so many women who have substance use problems have histories of violence, gender-based violence, and also mental health, and that you have to work with these issues together and not separately.
So there's another layer of the problem. It's not just substance abuse, it's also abuse of another kind.
Yes.
So which makes it even more complicated.
Yes, it's a complicated issue.
Very.
And now we run for the last almost 3 years, we are running a shelter for homeless women, and then we've been diving into what kind of services we offer, and also this gendered view on homelessness, which is also very important.
Very unknown for many people, actually. You talked about the house or the safe house.
Yes.
Can you please explain to us and to the viewers who don't understand what a safe house is?
It's basically an emergency shelter for homeless women.
Okay.
So it's a night shelter. It's not open at daytime. They can come in at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and stay until 10 in the morning, and they can take a bath. They can.
What's the reason for that time frame?
Well, it is thought of as a shelter that you don't need for a long time.
I see.
Yeah. So you just originally it's services for people who need a place to sleep, but basic needs. It's services of basic needs, and we don't offer any treatment or anything. But we keep contact with the social services and things like that to try to get the women into some kind of service to help them out of these situations. But we are basically
a safe place to sleep.
Yes.
And to be clean.
Yes. We see in the last 2 years that women's homelessness has been growing in Iceland, and that's really sad, of course, but I think that is a trend we can see at least all over Europe after COVID.
Yeah, COVID-related homelessness.
Yes.
So on an average, how many do you get a night?
We have 12 beds in our shelter, and we had last fall, there were basically, 16 up to 18 women coming in for a long period of time. That's something new.
Clearly indicates that it's a rising issue.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest reason for this? Besides financial issues in COVID, that is unique to that year.
Yeah.
What do you think in general is the main problem for women's homelessness or women's need for shelter?
Yeah. The main reason women are homeless is violence, actually, is experience of
domestic violence,
gender-based violence. Yeah. So that's the main reason. Or of course, there are contributing factors, but that's what almost all homeless women have in common.
Yeah, because there's a misconception about someone who's homeless. They might have a home, they're just not safe in that home.
Yes.
So there's a misconception about that.
Yes.
That it's not just the fact that she came to a homeless or a safe house doesn't mean she doesn't have a family or a house.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not able to go back to her family due to the violence.
Yes.
So that's something I learned as well. I didn't know, I didn't realize, because I was unaware and a little bit ignorant about what it means to be homeless.
Yes.
It's not just when you don't have a home. It's when you're not safe in your home.
Yes.
That also makes a difference.
Yes.
What are the biggest challenges you think you face? Because you've been running this for 10 years, and this.
No, we've been running the shelter since 2020.
So 2020, you mentioned you took over the shelter.
Yes.
Okay, but you were you've been in this let's say humanitarian work for 10 years.
Yes.
In general, not just with the home.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest challenge you face?
We think that there is a need for a change of policy in general in the country. We have been working with the city of Reykjavik, and they have a modern policy about homelessness and substance use, but only since 2019. They have this harm reduction policy, more human rights-based policy about people with substance use problems. So that was a big step, I would say, and maybe the biggest step in policy change. But we want to change policy, and we want to break down these silos where you are treating people for one thing at a time, like substance use, and another place for violence, and the third place for mental health.
Because it's all related, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to treat or service the woman and not different issues.
Okay.
That's the basically I would say the biggest change that needs to happen.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. I love your journey, but I'm so curious why you started such an interesting journey. It's super important, but why did you pick this?
I had myself had a problem with substance use, and so I went to seek help in 2007. So it's almost 16 years ago.
Bravo!
Yes.
Bravo on you for finding the courage to get out of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Yeah. I mean, I had a husband and children, and I was doing my MA in literature. I mean, I was some kind of functioning, but still I was also having depression, and you know, I was not happy with my life. It was affecting my life in a very negative way. So I seek help, and then so I went into treatment, and I did everything I was told, and I got to know a lot of very nice women who had the same problem. So we helped each other to, you know, to navigate this.
It's really fascinating that you yourself were in that dark place and found the courage to get out of it. And not just that, you found the courage to help others. I think it's incredible. How many women do you think you've helped over the years? Can you count, or do you have a number, or are you in touch with them? No. But that's a good thing, isn't it?
One of our main aims is to change the way we think about people with substance use problems. And I think that's one of our achievements, is that we've changed the discussion around substance use in Iceland. I mean, we've opened up new ideas to think about it, and to empower people, and also to think about everybody can have this problem. It's not. I mean, there are a lot of social factors that influence our lives, and also substance use. But this is, everybody can have a substance use problem.
It can touch all types of people and all walks of life. I think it's not what people imagine.
Yeah, but it's often very difficult for women, and also women of, you know, middle class and higher classes, to admit that they have this problem. There's a lot of stigma attached to it. So what my organization has also attributed to is this recognition. This is just a problem everybody can have, and we can deal with it. And there are solutions. We can find ways to recover our lives and have a meaningful and powerful life. So that's what we would like to contribute.
You're breaking the taboo by bringing the issues to light. And unless an issue is discussed, or unless an issue is acknowledged, then you can't help the problem. So that's why your story, I found it to be very fascinating, because when I was looking at Iceland and I was looking at what to show, I was amazed that even in a country that has such small population, this issue has arisen. And you mentioned that you were trying to get a second house.
Yes.
You're trying to get a second safe house.
Or we are trying to get a new housing, because this house where we are, it's an old house and it's too small.
What was it before?
Well, it was originally it was a farm. It's an old stone house that is actually, you can't change it. It's
protected by the
Yes, it's a protected house as a cultural
heritage.
But it's in need of a lot of changes, and
renovation.
There's a lot of stairs in the house, so it's difficult for women. For the women sometimes to get upstairs or downstairs, and we need just more space, and you know, that will also increase security. It's all about security. We want to be a really secure place for these women who lack security elsewhere.
It's amazing you can't choose one, because there are so many amazing stories.
Yes.
It's incredible that in such a dark and difficult situation, you meet some of the most delightful and delightful people in this. And that's why I think what you do is very important. What's a message you would like our viewers to know?
Well, the message I would like them to take from this is that you can have problems that you keep as a secret for a long time, and mark your life very negatively. And when you start seeking for help and solutions to get out of that dark place, you will be surprised what you find. I mean,
Thank you so much for being honest. Thank you so much for being courageous in finding a better life for yourself. And also thank you for finding a way to help others exactly how you needed help when you were at your worst. So thank you. You're really inspirational, Christine. I felt like goosebumps every time you're talking about the problem, because you never know who's suffering.
No.
You really never know
No.
who's going through that.
Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
inviting me. So nice to meet you.
My pleasure. أكثر الأكلات المحلية في أيسلندا سمك الكود مع الزبدة وعيش الراي، لازم تجربوه. وأذكركم إنه لا تنسوا تشتروا هدية بسيطة تذكارية لكم ولأحبائكم في آخر كل رحلة. أنا مرة بريدة، لو أنتوا زيي لا تخافوا، لأنه تقريباً كل أوتيل في أيسلندا يعطوكم هيتر زي كده عشان تتدفوا. لو جيتوا على البلو كيف لازم تيجوا مع جايد ممتاز، لأنه الطريق مرة خطر، فلو سمحتوا خدوا جايد يفهم، لأنه في احتمال كبير يمكن تضيعوا، ونبغى سلامتكم دايما.
Right.
How much does it melt in the summer?
Okay, this glacier here is melting up to, I would say, 150, and bad year would be around 250 meters. Like then I'm talking about retreating, like how much it retreats. But that's not like the only part, it's also getting thinner.
Yeah.
So 120, 30 years ago, the glacier was almost at the main road. If you came here, like, I would think like 3 years ago, we would already be at the glacier.
Wow.
Now.
لا تنسوا تلبسوا الهلمت عشان ما تخبطوا راسكم في البلو كيف. هذه ذا بلو كيف من أهم الأشياء اللي لازم تيجي تشوفوها في أيسلندا، بس أنصحكم تعالوا في الجو الصح، لأنه في مرات ما تقدروا تدخلوها. ونصيحة كمان تيجوا مع جايد ممتاز وتلبسوا الملابس عشان تحميكم من الأشياء اللي حتتساقط من السفر. أتوقع أني أحتاج أكثر من شهر عشان أخلص استكشاف هذه الجزيرة المميزة، ولكن للأسف وقتي في أيسلندا انتهى. بس طبعاً معايا المغامرة عمرها ما تنتهي. إن شاء الله تكون عجبتكم هذه الحلقة وتعلمنا من قصة كريستين إن كلنا بإمكاننا مساعدة الآخرين. معاكم رحمة حرق من أيسلندا، رحلة رقم 220. أشوفكم بإذن الله على خير في الرحلة الجاية.